this video, we're going to take a look at using for loops. And with the for loops, basically we can, it's really similar to the while loop, but slightly different. We're going to be using it to get a group of items and do a specific action over and over again based off of a selection. So I have all these spheres here, and in the last project we only had one selected and we did something multiple times to everything. In this case, we're going to have all of them selected, and then it's going to go through the list and do something to each one of those items. So let's get the selection first. So we're going to create a variable, cell is equal to mc.ls, and SL for selection is equal to true. And then let's print cell, which is the variable that we created here. And let's see what happens now. We can see that we have that list that we had before, but we have multiple objects in it now. So if we remember from before, the way the list is indexed, it starts off with 0, so the 0 is here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can test this out. Let's say we wanted to print 0, 1, 2, 3, so we'll want to print the 3. So we're going to say 3 like this, and if we run the code now, we'll get only the item in the third index position. Okay. So let's look at a for loop. So we're going to start with for. Then here we can create a variable. It's a little bit different than creating a variable the way we have it here. Here we can just set a name. So I'm going to say obj. So it's for an object within this list. So I'm going to say for obj in SEL. So this could be named anything. This has to be SEL because that's what we named the selection. For our object in selection, what are we going to do? Let's say we're going to move it over. So they're all right on top of each other. If we look at them, they are all at 0, 0, 0. So let's create a position variable and make it equal to 0. So it's going to be mc.setAdder. And then we're going to get the object's name. Actually, before we do that, so that I can show you exactly what's going to be happening, let's comment this so that we can come back to it in a moment. And let's add a print statement. Print obj, just so that you guys can see what the loop is doing. Right now I only have one object selected, so let's select everything again. There we go. So it prints each item in the list one after the other. And each item in the list is basically just a string of the name of the object. So when it loops around, we can actually get the name of the object. So we're going to say obj, which is the name of the object, and then plus .tx. And what we want to change that value is the POS for position times 5. And then in this case, with this style of loop, we don't need another number that increments because it's just going to go through every single object inside of the selection. So it's not an infinitely long selection or list of items, so we should be fine. So let's run this here, and it is all staying at 0. The reason for that is that we're not incrementing the position, because each time we run the loop, we want it to be able to move it one space over. So let's add one more line to the loop. We're going to say POS is equal to POS plus 1. And it will work like this without space, but I'll add the space just so it looks a little bit neater and easier to read. So now as I run that, it works and it spreads everything across the x-axis. So that's a cool way to be able to get everything within a list of objects and be able to space them out 5 units apart from each other. We'll see you guys in the next lesson.